Libra and Sagittarius compatibility. Libras and Sagittarians can be studiously intellectual or the life of the party. While some of them lean more one way than the other, they're usually a bit of both. However, there are some marked differences in their intellect. Ruled by Jupiter, the largest planet in the solar system, endows Sagittarius with an expansive intellect and personality. A highly philosophical character, Sagittarius is the first sign in the zodiac to primarily relate to life on a universal level. Part of Sag's self-actualization is exploring the mysteries of the universe and the way he or she relates to them. When Libra weighs most matters on the Libra scales, veering from one side to the next for a long time, Sagittarius isn't as committed to his own conclusions. To Sag, there is always a new unknown to be discovered, a new perspective to be revealed. Jupiter's expansive nature means that Sagittarius never limits his vision to what he sees right in front of him. Hello Cosmic Fam, welcome to Astrology Experts. In this video series, we've analyzed zodiac sign combinations and their compatibility. Let's find out why some people are drawn to or are magnetized by each other and some just naturally repel. Why is that? Good thing we can always ask the stars. Make sure to watch all the way till the end. Friendships. These two have their optimism and idealism in common, and they both know how to work through the room at a party, so it's no surprise when they run into each other. Libra will be flitting like a hummingbird from one guest to the next, flashing a dazzling, wholesome smile that lights up the room. Libra males often have a distinguished air about them, and they are as sweet, sensitive, and light on their feet as their female counterparts, some even more so. Venus gives them a natural understanding of the feminine experience of life. Libra males are so suave, stylish, and naturally charming that their sensitivity attracts would-be suitors in droves. Sagittarius is quite literally the life of the party. While Libra's laugh tinkles softly as bells chime through the room, Sagittarius's hearty laugh is as larger than life as the rest of him or her. Both of them are charming conversationalists with a sharp intellect, so the chances are they'll get to talking sooner or later. Sagittarius's gregarious nature and her obvious goodwill warms Libra, which extends to just about everyone she meets. This goes for everyone, except for the people she really doesn't like, whom she often still wishes well, albeit from afar. Once they get to know each other, their conversations will be both maddening and amusing to them and anyone who happens to be listening. Sagittarius's keen intellect comes out bluntly in frank observations that momentarily stun Libra, who prides herself on being so well-mannered. However, Libra is a cardinal leadership sign, and her debate skills are nearly presidential or better. Libras will dissect Sagittarius's big picture, perceptions into intricate details. To Sag, it will seem as if Libra is arguing with everything he says. She seems to take both sides of an issue, when mutable Sag would prefer to just move on. If their iron will doesn't wear her friends down, her charm and sweetness will. The same is true for the males of this sign. Luckily, good humor Sag's mutable status, which enable her to move past unpleasantness fairly quickly, means that he or she doesn't always have to have the last word. However, in Sag's own mind, she is usually one. They have a strong respect for one another's commitment to fairness and justice. Sagittarius can become exasperated by Libra's need for everything to be either black or white, even though she usually ends up thinking it's both. But the mental energy in this friendship is fueled by Sagittarius's fiery personality and Libra's need for cerebral stimulation. This is typical of the air signs. Relationships. The courtship between these two can sometimes resemble a three-ring circus. However, most of the time it's so vital and interesting that the enjoyment outweighs the frustration. Sagittarius enjoys pushing Libra's buttons. he or she knows it's flirting with danger. However, that makes it all the more exciting to this fiery lover who lives to transcend boundaries, trying to crack Libra's calm demureness, mild manners, and placid veneer is Sagittarius' favorite pastime, and he uses shock value to do it. However, since Libra is a cardinal sign, he or she doesn't take lightly to being underestimated or having the wool pulled over her eyes. If Sag throws Libra out of balance, Libra will angrily take back the reins to the relationship by analyzing him into silence. More times than not, Sagittarians are not the silent type. Others look upon them and say, "Not my monkeys." However, it seems as though most of the time, they're enjoying their two-act circus. Marriage. This relationship doesn't always lead to marriage, but many times it does. The average Libra values tradition to some extent, even if he or she does not. They are a romantic idealist who lives the sentiment of marriage. Fiery Sagittarius is prone to grand romantic overtures and dramatic shows of love and devotion. Therefore, there's a chance he may be enthusiastic about marriage too. However, Sag is usually less conventional and more freedom-loving than Libra. Sometimes, Sagittarius' free spirit means that he or she doesn't necessarily need a convention to express love and commitment. However, this doesn't have to mean that Sag is unfaithful. In fact, Sag values honesty above almost all else. The Archer's need for freedom usually translates to a need to explore at least some of his philosophical and spiritual pursuits alone. But he or she will usually sweep Libra off their feet onto various new adventures. These adventures can include new countries or simply new dimensions of his vivid, multi-dimensional mind. Libra is a very pair-oriented, often more so than Sagittarius. Eventually, he or she realizes that when the Archer's mind wanders, it always finds its way home. And when they're lying under the stars at night, Sagittarius might just surprise Libra by arcing his bow toward the sky and pulling down the stars for a magical moment. Hey stars, let us know what you think of today's video. We'd really love it if you share your experiences to us and everyone watching this. If you're an introvert, even online, that's fine too. You can always privately send and share this to your star peoples. Before we proceed, hit that like button so we'll know that you enjoy watching videos like these from us. Communication. Communication can be a quagmire for these two and takes patience, tolerance, and dedication to work through. Libra is known for sugarcoating harsh truths, or at the very least, cushioning them between happier thoughts and lots of praise and affection. While this tendency touches the tenderness of Sag's big heart, it can also frustrate him or her at times. Unsurprisingly, the Archer is a straight shooter. He calls it like it is, frequently wounding Libra's delicate sensibilities. Libra has a tendency to see life and love through rose-colored glasses. She has a fairy tale wish for world peace and happy endings for everyone, and tries her best to please the Archer. Still, when Sag's arrow pierces the core of her insecurities, she will not take kindly to this transgression. It will often spur Libra into an argument in which she attempts to analyze Sag's obvious lack of sensitivity. Although, she'll suggest maybe he's insecure, because why else would he put her down so harshly? It can go on and on. While cardinal sign Libra's reaction to conflict is to sit down and fix it in the moment, Sagittarius feels oppressed by her argumentative nature. A word of advice for Libra: when Sag temporarily escapes into the study, or even to some unknown but relatively local destination, give him just a bit of time and space. If he or she is a mature, emotionally stable Archer, he will not fall into the trap of escapism and will find his way happily back home. Sex and intimacy. Not surprisingly, the tension that builds when they argue is a major aphrodisiac for both of them. Their sexual relationship is an elemental mixture of burning and tenderness. Libra is a highly imaginative sign. Their romantic idealism is played out in varying romantic scenarios, which Sag is all too happy to indulge. A fiery emotional lover, Sag likes to sweep a lover off his or her feet, with frequent fiery displays of surrender. Although Libra's sexual nature is less intense and emotional, the Archer's burning primal needs is like an ancient feeling, a wild calling of the heart. For Libra, this might have only been the stuff of fantasy before they met. Libra and Sagittarius, compatibility pros. Their relationship has enough mental richness and stimulation that the excitement of being together often outweighs the frustration. Although fiery and passionate, Sag is actually the most emotionally detached of the fire sign. This quality suits air signs, including Libra. Sagittarius is expressive enough to shower Libra with compliments and praise on a regular basis. Both Libra friends and lovers need this kind of affection. Libra and Sagittarius, compatibility cons. Communication does not flow easily between them and takes a lot of work. Libra may try to control Sagittarius at times, directly or inadvertently. Sag seeks freedom and resists it. Sagittarius' restlessness is calmed by Libra's harmonious energy. However, when it's not, the chaotic way he lives his life may put her off. Summary. This relationship is a wonderfully unique example of how two people with different basic natures can still find a wealth in common. Their mental connection means that they will never be bored or stuck in a rut. In fact, anytime stagnation arises in Sag's life, the Archer has an almost magical ability to transcend it, whisking a Libra friend or lover off onto a new adventure. In turn, Libra's imagination and intellect are stimulating enough to keep Sag from wandering. This is a real victory for Libra, who secretly loves to win. We're glad you made it all the way through. You can find your zodiac compatibility here on this playlist. If you're single and don't want to mingle yet, click that subscribe button and let's work on yourself first. Come visit our website, astrologyexperts.com. Learn about zodiac signs and so much more over there. Thanks for watching and see you next time.